After completing the ambitious plan to build 500 kilometers of paved roads in just 1 year, President Ibrahim Traoré has once again demonstrated his strategic vision and determination to improve national infrastructure. Without stopping after this initial success, he quickly launched a new innovative project to put 500 modern buses into operation this year and at the same time planned the purchase of 1,000 additional buses for next year. This is not simply a technical project, but a strategic move aimed at transforming the image of public transport in Burkina Faso, contributing to improving the quality of life, urban civility, and the country's international projection. In many developing countries, transport improvements are often carried out in disconnected phases, leading to situations where roads exist, but not enough vehicles or modern vehicles without adequate infrastructure. President Traoré has chosen a different path, to synchronize infrastructure with vehicles. Following the campaign to build 500 kilometers of paved roads, a project that became a symbol of the new government's determination and execution capacity, the incorporation of a modern bus system is considered a logical and necessary step. The goal is to maximize the efficiency of the new road network, transforming it from a simple physical connection into an active socio-economic artery. The roads will not only serve for the transport of goods, but will put people, especially students and workers, at the center of development. The 500-kilometer road project solved one of Burkina Faso's most fundamental problems, the lack of transport infrastructure. In the past, many vital routes in the country were in severely deteriorated conditions, which hindered travel, the transport of goods, and access to essential services. Long travel times, high transport costs, and the constant risk of accidents hindered local economic development. The construction of 500 kilometers of new paved roads has connected production areas with consumption centers, shortening travel times and expanding commercial opportunities. This forms a solid foundation for the development of an efficient public transport system. According to official information, the first batch of 155 buses has already been delivered to Sotraco, the country's largest public transport company. This is only a part of the 500 buses that will become operational this year. These vehicles, imported from renowned manufacturers, boast high quality, comfortable seats, air conditioning, and internationally certified safety systems. Their incorporation marks a turning point in the history of public transport in Burkina Faso. The government's immediate priority is to serve students, who represent a large part of the daily transport demand. In the past, many students from rural or suburban areas had to walk for hours under the scorching sun or rely on old and unsafe personal vehicles such as motorcycles or bicycles to get to school. This situation affected their health and increased the risk of accidents. With the new bus system, students will have access to modern, safe, and affordable transport, alleviating the burden on families and ensuring safety in their travels. In addition, all citizens of Burkina Faso will benefit, from workers and small traders to office workers, who will have a more convenient option that will reduce transport costs and decrease congestion in cities like Ouagadougou and Bobo-Dioulasso. This will not only generate individual economic benefits, but will also reduce pressure on an already overloaded urban transport system. The plan does not stop at 500 buses. The government has set the goal of importing and putting into service 1,000 new buses by 2026, expanding the public transport network to all provinces. When completed, it will be the most modern intercity and urban bus network in the history of Burkina Faso. President Traoré's vision is to create a national public transport system connecting the capital Ouagadougou with important cities such as Bobo-Dioulasso, Fada Ngorma, Koudougou, and Kaya, and extending to districts and communes. This will reduce dependence on personal vehicles, especially motorcycles, which account for a high percentage of traffic and pose great accident risks. Increasing interregional connectivity, boosting socio-economic development by facilitating trade, labor mobility, and access to social services. It will help reduce emissions and protect the environment, optimizing passenger transport and decreasing the number of private vehicles in circulation, especially the older and more polluting ones. This plan is not just a material investment, but a conceptual revolution. It represents a transition from an economy heavily dependent on agriculture and mining towards a modern service-oriented economy, placing people at the center. Building an extensive public transport network is a solid foundation for boosting domestic tourism, strengthening regional cohesion, and creating new jobs in the transport sector. One of the main objectives of the project is to build a culture of civilized participation in traffic. With modern buses, passengers will gradually develop habits such as queuing to board and alight, avoiding pushing and disorder, especially at busy stops. Respecting schedules and routes, promoting punctuality and creating a more organized urban lifestyle. Maintaining cleanliness and protecting public property, increasing community awareness about environmental protection and the care of common assets. Respecting the elderly, children, and people with disabilities, building a more civilized and supportive society. Public education and communication campaigns will be implemented in parallel, encouraging the population to consider public transport as the first option, not only for personal benefit, but for the common good. These campaigns will be disseminated on television, radio, social media, and public spaces to raise awareness about the benefits of collective transport. The success of the 500 kilometers of asphalted roads in 1 year campaign demonstrated that when government and citizens work together, objectives that seem impossible can become reality. The Fasamibo spirit, our Burkina, has been effectively applied to the bus project, generating strong support across all social sectors. In the road project, citizens voluntarily participated in tasks such as land leveling, material transport, and site cleaning. This collaboration not only reduced costs for the government, but also fostered a strong sense of ownership towards public works. That same spirit now extends to the bus project, where companies not only offer transport services, but also participate in sponsorship, maintenance, and communication support. Citizens are not just passengers, but guardians of public property, helping to extend the lifespan of vehicles. The Fasamibo spirit is key to transforming large project ideas into realities. It is the combination of firm political will, active citizen participation, and private sector support. It is a valuable lesson for other developing countries. Sustainable development cannot be achieved without consensus and social cooperation. To ensure the effectiveness and sustainability of the project, the government has established clear requirements for managing entities, affordable fares so that everyone, especially students and low-income citizens, can use the service. Prices will be subsidized to compete with personal vehicles. Regular maintenance to ensure vehicle quality and road safety, preventing deterioration and rapid breakdowns. Training of drivers and staff, following international standards, prioritizing professional attention and courteous treatment. Use of technology for route management, electronic tickets, and real-time tracking, facilitating the passenger experience. If the plan proceeds as expected, in just 2 years Burkina Faso will have a modern and nationally integrated transport system from infrastructure to vehicles. This will boost economic competitiveness. Efficient transport will attract foreign investment and facilitate trade and logistics. Improve citizens' quality of life with faster commutes, less pollution, and greater road safety. Build Burkina Faso's image as a dynamic, civilized, and open nation to the world. President Traoré stated, "Every kilometer of road, every bus is a step forward for our country. We are not just building infrastructure, we are building the future." These words are not just a political statement, but a promise and a commitment to a brighter future for the people of Burkina Faso.